What's your sterile but got pregnant accidentally story? I was injecting fertility hormones in a gas station bathroom during our anniversary dinner when I realized I'd become someone I didn't recognize. 8 months of sneaking around, $30,000 drained from my inheritance, and my husband Garrett still had no clue I'd been medicating myself like a science experiment just to get pregnant. The worst part was sitting through dinner afterward, listening to him toast to making a baby the natural way while the injection site throbbed under my dress. Garrett comes from this insane, fertile family where everyone pops out kids like it's their job. His mom had 7 children, including 2 sets of twins, and last week his younger brother announced baby number 4. At the announcement party, he raised his beer and made this whole speech about keeping the legacy strong while squeezing my hand so tight it hurt. That's when I knew I had to up my dosage. Doctor's orders be damned, because after 18 months of trying, my uterus was apparently broken. The lying got easier, but the side effects got worse. My hormones turned me into this bloated, weepy mess who cried at dog food commercials, which I blamed on a stomach bug that mysteriously lasted months. He kept buying me wine subscriptions and planning vineyard tours, saying we needed to relax and let nature happen. Meanwhile, I was sneaking to fertility appointments 3 times a week, telling him I'd joined a book club with my coworker. I even had to work overnight transcription jobs to hide the clinic payments because insurance wouldn't cover what they called elective reproductive assistance. Everything started unraveling when my sister mentioned she saw Garrett at a medical building downtown. He claimed he was just grabbing lunch nearby, but something felt off about how quickly he changed the subject. Then I caught him deleting emails one morning, shutting his laptop when I walked in with coffee. Just spam about medical stuff, he said, but his neck got all blotchy the way it does when he lies. The real kicker happened when my fertility clinic called while I was in the bathroom. The voicemail said something about unusual test results requiring immediate discussion, and my stomach dropped because what if they found cancer or something worse? That's when the pregnancy test showed 2 lines. I stood there shaking in our bedroom, staring at this thing I'd spent $30,000 trying to achieve when my doctor from the fertility clinic called back. Her voice was careful, too careful, explaining that my panels showed I'd been ovulating normally this entire time. The medications just hyperstimulated everything, which meant the problem was never me. She asked if my partner had been tested because male factor infertility accounts for 50% of cases, and that's when Garrett's phone rang on the dresser. A clinic I've never heard of before flashed on his screen while he was outside mowing, and when I picked it up, the voicemail started playing automatically. Confirming your vasectomy reversal consultation for next Wednesday. The words didn't make sense at first because reversal meant there was something to reverse, which meant Garrett had gotten snipped, which meant he'd been shooting blanks our entire marriage. My brain started doing this horrible math, remembering his ex, who he always called the crazy one who tried to trap me with a pregnancy scare. Suddenly that story sounded different. Garrett walked in from the yard and saw me holding the positive test in one hand and his phone in the other, and his face went through every single emotion. Confusion, then this weird impossibility calculation, then just pure fear when he realized what I'd heard. Neither of us said anything for the longest time because what was there to say? He'd been sterile for 2 years before we even met, letting me think I was the problem while I poisoned myself with hormones and drained my grandmother's inheritance on treatments we never needed. My clinic called again while we stood there frozen. The irregularity they'd found was that my hormone levels indicated conception happened 6 weeks ago, which made my skin go cold because 6 weeks ago was my Miami conference. The one where my co-presenter Elias brought me herbal tea every morning for my stomach bug. The same conference where we shared a hotel room to save the company money, and I don't remember much after the welcome reception drinks. I was pregnant with another man's child after spending everything to conceive with a husband who couldn't give me children anyway. He picked up his keys and walked out. The mortgage payment was due in 3 days.